This video will show you how to cite a Britannica article in NoodleTools. I'm Susan Timmons, Instructional Librarian at the Harpeth Hall School. Today, we'll look at citations in the database version of Britannica School, compare them to the free website form, and then create an MLA citation in NoodleTools. First, you have to find the link to Britannica School, for example, on the LibGuide to your class. After you get the database open, type in your search terms, such as Genghis Khan. Scroll through your results and choose which one you want to read. Examine your article and think about how you're going to cite it, looking for elements like the article name and possibly the database name. Britannica has a navigator right here that includes a cite button. When you click it, it will show you their recommended MLA citation for this article. And you can see all of the elements here except the author's name. So for example, in quotation marks, that is the article title. In italics, that is the database. And then behind that is the vendor. Okay, a lot of people get these two confused. You also then have a publication date and the URL. Don't use their date access. You will replace that with your date. If it helps you to keep in mind the difference between these two, Encyclopedia Britannica is a large company with a lot of products. So that is why they are the publisher or vendor. And Britannica School is the database. It's just one of many products that they sell. Okay. So this has given you everything you need except the single most important piece of information, which is the author's name. So that is why we are not going to copy and paste this. It's missing really important information. So to check for an author's name, you want to scroll down to the end of either the section that you're using, because sometimes each section will have its own author, or down to the end of the article. So for example, here I see Charles R. Bawden. And then even if I keep going down to the bottom, I see him again. And I also see the editors of Encyclopedia Britannica. That is commonly found as an author as well. If you scroll down to the bottom and there are no names listed, then that means there is no author that you need to credit, and you can move ahead and do the citation without an author. But here we will need to add these when we go to NoodleTools. Before I show you how to create a citation in NoodleTools, I want to point out that there's also a free website version of Britannica. The text itself, the article, is identical, but the display is different in a few ways. And it's not just because it has advertisements. The free website version also displays the author's name at the top. And in order to see their sample citation, you have to click on the three dots for more actions and choose cite. That is where you will get, for example, the publication date. So notice that the sample citation here looks different from the one in the database version because there is no database name. Here, Encyclopedia Britannica is in italics because it is a website name. It still has the specific URL, which again is different than the database URL, publication date, and article name, and also the author. So again, I don't know why the website version will show you the author and their sample citation and the database does not, but it's important, so we always need to look for it, okay? So next, we are ready to head to NoodleTools. We just need to decide whether we're going to cite the website version or the database version. You cannot cite both because they are identical, so you have to choose one. So heading over into NoodleTools, we're going to cite a new source. Again, if you were citing the free website version, you would choose website webpage. But I'm going to show you how to cite the database version, the one that doesn't have any ads. So you would choose original content in a database. Okay. So remember, we talked about the difference between the vendor and the database name. If you click on this button that says My Libraries Databases and you start typing in Britannica, you will see here Britannica School. And just as a reminder, that is the name of the database, Britannica School. Now, Encyclopedia Britannica, after that, is, remember, the name of the publisher or vendor here. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste that into that one field because it is kind of hard to spell it correctly. But that is the difference between the name of the database and the name of the publisher. So the other pieces of information I need to get: the article title and the date. And then remember, I will have to go grab the author from down in the bottom. So I can add my publication date. It's interesting, the publication date on the database version is different than the one on the website version, and I also do not know why. I'm going to paste in my article title, and then I need to go back and grab my URL. And I can get it out of the URL bar here. It's the same as the one down here. It's a nice, short, direct, stable URL. Okay. So last but not least, in NoodleTools, I need to add an author. And oddly, the one here has given us two authors, Charles Bawden, but also the editors of Encyclopedia Britannica. What is very strange here is that this is not listed as an editor specifically. It is listed as an author. And so my job is to do exactly what the database has given me. So I am going to list them as an author, and I'm going to use this last name or group field so that I can paste in the whole name of the group. Okay, so I'm not going to treat like editors as the first name and Encyclopedia Britannica as the last name. Okay, so now I've got both of my contributors. I've got everything filled in. And then this is how it's going to display in NoodleTools. If you have any questions, just reach out. Otherwise, happy citing.